Instruction skill 15 is about read and interpret a scale. And before we touch the scenario, let's take a look here at this piece about a thermometer. Think of a thermometer as a number line. And this particular thermometer goes from -15 or 15 degrees below zero all the way up to 80 degrees above zero. And I suspect this is a Celsius thermometer. Let's see if I'm right. If you count, here's 0 degrees. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Usually if there are 10 spaces in the interval, it's a Celsius thermometer, but not always. This could be a Fahrenheit thermometer as well. Whatever it is on this particular one, each of those little lines represents 1 degree. So here would be 1 degree, 3 degrees, 5 degrees, 7, 9, and there's 10. You always want to figure out what that scale is. Okay, so this is showing me that the difference between 2 points on a number line is equal to the distance between the points. So they're saying if you want to know how far it is between one point and the other, you can just count the distance. That's one way of looking at this. All right, let's take a look here at the scenario. A thermometer outside Julie's home is shown at the right. If the temperature inside Julie's home is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, what is the difference between the inside and outside temperatures? Well, it's -15 outside. Inside, it's 70 degrees. So that is a difference of 85 degrees. Thermometers. A thermometer shows temperature measurements as points on a scale drawn as a number line. Positive temperatures are shown as numbers greater than 0. Negative temperatures are shown as numbers less than 0. The difference between the two temperatures is found by subtracting the lower temperature from the higher temperature. On a thermometer and on any other number line, the difference is represented by the distance between the two temperature values. 70 degrees minus -15 degrees. Subtracting a negative number is equivalent to adding a positive number, and that gives us a distance of 85 degrees. And if you look at this one, you can see that from 0 to the low temperature is 15 degrees. And then from 0 up to the high temperature is 70 degrees. And so that's a total of 85 degrees. So let's practice. Oh, sorry. The Casio calculator easily works with negative numbers. And here's how you would type in that problem. 70 minus 15 negative equals 85. You use the plus minus key to use negative numbers. Here is a concept. Approximately how much milk is in the measuring cup? So to understand this one, you have to understand this scale. Let's mark it off here. We know that that is 8 fluid ounces. So let's count the intervals between. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 divided by 4 means that each of these is 2. So we have 2, 4, but not quite to 6. You've got this line between those. So this is about 5 fluid ounces. It's not all the way up to that third interval line. Problem 2 refers to the thermometer on page 42. The freezing point of water is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. What phrase below describes the temperature that is shown on the outside thermometer? So if you look back at this thermometer, let's mark our freezing point, which is 32 degrees. That's right here. And they want us to find the distance from that 32 down to this minus 15. So one way to do it is to say 32 minus that negative 15, which would be the same as 32 plus 15, or 47 degrees. For me, the easiest way is to do it like this. I'm going to find the distance from negative 15 to 0. That is 15 degrees. And then from 0 up to that 32 would be 32 degrees. And then you combine those, which would give you 47 degrees. But either way, it is 47 degrees below freezing, below 32. Number 3, Diane arrived at the ice skating rink on Saturday at 10:45 a.m. She left at the time shown. How long was Diane at the rink? Well, if she arrived at 10:45 and she left at 12:30, we need to find the difference between those two times. And I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. You could definitely do it other ways. The way that, let me show you, this is not the way I would do it, but this would definitely work. Think of a timeline from 10:45 to 11, and then from 11 to 12. Okay, so from 10:45 to 11, that's 15 minutes. From 11 to 12 is 1 hour. And from 12 to 12:30 is 30 minutes. So you would have 1 hour. 15 and 30 make 45 minutes. Here's what I would do. I would take the 12:30 and I would subtract the 10:45. Now this is subtracting time. So I'm going to borrow an hour from here. That's 60 minutes that I will put right here. So this becomes 90 minutes. Let me make that a little bit more obvious what I'm trying to do here. This is 90 minutes. Then 90 minus 45 is 45. And 11 minus 10 is an hour. Any way you do it, you should get 1 hour, 45 minutes. You could also do it, even if you did it with military time, you would have to borrow an hour. Okay. Application. On Saturday, Luis gives half-hour trumpet lessons from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. He takes a half-hour lunch break at noon. If Luis is paid $20 for each lesson, what is the total amount he makes on Saturday? Well, from 9:30 to 4:30, you can just count this up. You could subtract. You could do whatever you wanted. I'm just going to count it up. So starting at 9:30, I would have 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. That's 7 hours. Then we subtract out his lunch break. That's half an hour. So that leaves me with 6.5 hours for him to do lessons. Then I will take the 6.5. Let me think. I'm just going to do this mentally because it's going to get real confusing if I don't. If you take 6 hours and you divide that into half hours, that would be 12 lessons. That half hour would be 1 lesson. So he has time for 13 lessons altogether. And then finally, 13 times 20, this is not a calculator, so I'll bring down the 0. 2 3s are 6 and 2 1s are 2. I like answer number 1. $260, not a bad way to spend a Saturday. Number 5. Apples are on sale at 2 pounds for $1. The scale shows the weight of apples Marlena will purchase. Which is the best estimate of the total cost of the apples? So she has about 6.5 pounds. Let's say about 7 pounds. That's closer to 7. That looks like a clock. Okay, about 7 pounds, and we get 2 pounds for $1. So I'm going to use a proportion. Pounds for money. You get 2 pounds for $1, and she has about 7 pounds. So 7 times 1 is 7, divided by 2 is 3.5. And since I don't have a calculator, let me show you where I'm getting that. 2 into 7 is 3 times, with 1 left over. Then I'll add 1 0 and bring it down, and that is 5. So I'm going to say about $3.50, approximately. Number 6. A woodworker is laminating several types of wood for a decorative cutting board. What is the width of the walnut strip? I like this question. You've got different types of wood here. You've got maple, walnut, maple, and cherry. And they want to know the width of the walnut strip. So let's take a close look here at the walnut. So we're starting from this point to this point. And I want to know how many spaces there are in an inch from 1 to 2. So I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is a 16th ruler. The increments are in 16ths. So I'm going to count now the number of those increments between my dots. So I'm starting here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15 of those 16th marks, and that would be my estimate. I like number 5 for that one. It cannot be simplified. If 15/16 would reduce, I would have to do that, but it cannot be reduced. And that was the end of the page.